All right, everyone. So in today's episode, I'm going to go over my trades from the morning. This is going to be a standard recap. Again, came up short of my optimistic goal of doubling my daily goal. And in fact, yesterday I crossed my daily goal. Today I am under my daily goal, which makes it a smaller green day, but a green day nonetheless, which is a great way to end a fantastic month. I'm going to have to do a separate episode on July recap, going over this month, what worked, what didn't work, the ups and the downs, but really a super impressive month. In fact, my biggest green month since 2021, if you can believe that. Bigger than any month in 2023, bigger than any month in 2022. The last month I was up this much was December of 2021. So 2.5 years. Wow. That feels good to have a month this big after, such a long period of kind of chipping away on smaller green months. Now, it's not to say that the last 2 years weren't good, but I just didn't have a month that was as good as this one. Okay, so the number one leading gapper today was NUZE. This one ended up going up about 100%, which was pretty impressive, but I think you're already going to notice there's a problem with it. The problem is the move started after hours. So this is a stock that has been difficult. It has not been easy to trade. Over the last few sessions, it had popped up and then sold off all day long. And then another day in here popped up and then sold off. And now today popping up and selling off. So now it's kind of creating this pattern, which is a pattern of breaking hearts. This is not a trustworthy stock anymore, unfortunately. I mean, I'll probably trade it again in the future, but it doesn't feel like it's super safe. So if we sort of do a little technical analysis on this, I'm going to draw an ascending resistance line here. Oh, look at that. We ran right into it. Okay. So make sure you've got your lines drawn correctly. We had this price action after hours where basically it spikes up and it pushes higher. You get this nice squeeze. And I checked the news. I was like, well, what's the headline on this? And the headline was a Form 13D showing an acquisition of shares. It was like 200,000 shares, something like that. It was a pretty big position. Where is this? July 24th, 300,000 clothing private placement. So was it just a private placement? Let me go back here. This was the 24th. Today's the 31st. That's not. This was, I think this is the one here, 13G. So, yeah, this was the one. So this was the 288,000 shares purchased, 6% stake, purchased by this individual here. Address Beijing, China. Right. So, we know that this is a stock that has that China element to it. And it's been volatile, but while the move did continue pre-market, by 7 a.m., this thing rolled over. So, you know what happened today? I started the day going in the red. I'm down 1,500 on NUZE, and I'm up 2,600 on the day, which makes it a smaller green day for me. So first trade of the day, NUZE sells off here. I tried to do the dip off VWAP right down here. It went lower, stopped me out, and then it bounces. That was annoying. I got back in right here, and then it went lower a second time. So 2 losses, both were $800 losses on NUZE. So I was like, man, that is annoying. So down 1,600 on NUZE approximately. Then next trade was BNOX. BNOX hits my scanners. It's popping up right here. I jumped in it in this candle right here at 7 a.m. I lost $800 on that too. So now I'm down 2,400 on the day. I'm like, all right, this is not good. 1,500 on NUZE, 800 on BNOX. Next trade, I was like, all right, I'm moving in the wrong direction. I've technically had 3 losses, and they're not small, but I'm not at my max loss, and I don't feel emotionally compromised. So, let's just take it slow, and we'll see if anything starts to pop up and looks good. And that ended up being MHUA. MHUA, this one was kind of interesting because my very first trade on it was a break-even trade. My first trade was at 719, right when the news came out. which was right about here. So I got in it here and I stopped out. All right, look, you get in, you get out. If it's not going to go, you got to get out, manage your risk. But it comes back up and I got back in and then got back out. So first two trades, first one was a $63 loss, second one was a small winner. It dips down and I'm like, I'm not loving these red candle dips and higher selling volume. So I was like, I don't know. And then it comes up again. I was like, I don't want to trade it. I don't trust it. And it dumps all the way back down here to $1.20. I was like, see, this thing is garbage. Then it rallies back up and I'm like, well, maybe it's not that bad. And it goes sideways here and I got back in at $1.55 and this thing squeezes up to $1.60, $1.65, $1.70, $1.80, $1.90, all the way up to $2. Pulls back, pops up, boom, almost $4,000 of profit. Then I gave back a little bit of my profit overstaying my welcome, buying this dip and this false breakout here, thinking we were going to squeeze higher. So ending up finishing up 3,000 on this one, which is, hey, that's a good day. That basically got me back to flat. All right. So down, 1,500 and 800, that was 2,400. And then I was up on MHUA. So up like 500 on the day after these trades. And then we got these two, which I guess you could say add icing to the cake. So Pita, Pita, this stock is interesting. Recent SPAC merger, started trading under a new symbol yesterday, sells off, pre-market, 4 a.m., squeezes up from 6 to 12, 13. Sells off, bounces back up, sells off, bounces back up. I took this bounce right down here. I was watching it right here and I missed a good entry. And so then I kept it on watch. And when it came down here, I got in at 5 and we got a nice bounce up to 6. That wasn't bad. So I made $1,900 on that, which is a pretty solid trade. Didn't have to take a lot of shares. Got a full dollar a share almost. And then we had LSH. Now, LSH is actually kind of ridiculous because this thing was really hard to trade. So it out of nowhere goes from 270 up to 3, 350, 380, up to 4. So I got in here for the breakthrough 4 and it goes to 415 and then it dumps down to 340 and I stopped out. I'm red $2,000. So now I'm back to red on the day and I'm annoyed. It goes lower and then it comes back up and I got back in at about 350, 360. It breaks over VWAP. It squeezes up to 390 and then it dumps down to 310. It comes back up. I get back in again. It squeezes up to 410, up to a double top, and then it dumps again to 330. This thing was insane. It bounces up, it drops down, it bounces up, it drops down. I got back in right here for the squeeze higher and pushed my luck, stopped out, gave back most of the profit I had on it. So I peaked today at about $4,000. I was never up big, but gave back a little bit of that off the top. Now, I did end up taking another trade on NUZE. NUZE, a couple more trades actually. It squeezed up right here, and I took this trade long for break of VWAP. I made $1,300 on it, which got me back to flat on the almost break even on the stock. And then I added back here, and I caught this red candle, and I was back to minus 1,500. So annoying. It then squeezes and halts up at the open. It pulls back. I do a long right here, and I made a little bit of profit here. And then once again, I tried to buy the dip, and I gave it back. It just kept going lower. So I just got to a point today where I was like, you know what? It's not happening. Today is really choppy. I don't know why. We've had it's just the way it goes, though. So I guess here's why. This morning, NUZE was our leading gapper. It was up 100%. But the move was pre-market early, and by the time most of us sat down, the easy trades were over, and it was pulling back. Yes, there was a bounce here and a bounce here, but those were kind of tricky. The second leading gapper was PMEC. This one peaked after hours and was pulling back too much pre-market, so that was no good. That was off the list. And then after that, there really wasn't anything that was obvious. Yes, we had RENB, lower price stock, but was not till regular trading hours. Powell, POWL, higher price, too risky. TBIO, this one didn't start moving till regular trading hours. Sort of halted up, halted back down, double top here around 6. Risky stuff. CCM, I know some traders were watching this. We have traded this one before. Actually, I'm pretty sure we have anyways. A couple halts up, looks like, halt back down. Just tricky price action. If I look at this one, I just want to see if this is a US company. No, it's not. It's a Chinese company. That's what I thought. So anyway, so that was that one. And then SDST from a couple weeks ago had that really impressive move, kind of bouncing here, but look, there's no volume, right? So the issue today was we didn't have a leading gapper that was really obvious. Not to say we didn't have volume. I mean, you have a lot of volume on Nvidia, but you've got volume on a lot of these names, but still, it wasn't, we didn't have clean price action. And certainly today we don't have a 200, 300, or 500, 600% squeeze like we've had in previous trading sessions. So, kind of a little bit of a bummer that we didn't get a little more action today to finish off the month of July. But at the same time, I am grateful that I was able to recover from red to green. Even if after fees and commissions, it's not a big green day, it's still a green day, which is definitely good. LSH, though, and NUZE, both of these were really hard to trade. Something that I noted on LSH, and I actually just finished teaching a class for Warrior Pro members. So I before I did my recap, I taught a new section of this class. Where's that slide? So I was adding this to chapter. Let's see. This is chapter 8. No, so it's this one here. So we were doing the pulling away pattern, chapter 8, technical long setup number 13, pulling away. And this is something that I really like when we get that pulling away price action where something's sort of consolidating and then it starts to rip and move really fast. I mean, those are incredible trades when that happens. And we definitely got that on MHUA today. I thought we were going to get it on LSH. On MHUA, the pulling away area, this was kind of interesting because it was right in here where we sort of pop up, we pull back, we pop up, we pull back, we pop up. We're kind of struggling right here. We're not able to pull away. And then, bam, off we go. And it's like amazing. Beautiful price action, squeezing all the way up here to 210, up to 225, pulling back. Now, head and shoulders pattern coming back down, right? Kind of sad. But nonetheless, this was that pulling away. It had to break here. Once it broke through that resistance level, we started to move fast. So I was thinking LSH was going to give us a similar move. And the reason I thought it was because I was looking at the chart and I'm like, well, it is a recent IPO. Yes, there's higher volume selling. There's a selling candle red there, but this is the highest volume candle it's ever had. We should be able to have a nice green day. I'm surprised that there's this much selling. There must be insiders who are selling to create that kind of imbalance. I can't imagine what else is causing it. But as we were watching this, of course, it was ridiculously choppy with these huge ranges. I mean, up and then all the way back down, and then up and then way back down, way back down. But right through here, I was like, boy, if this thing pulls away here and we break through 556 on the daily level, this could be blue sky, right? This could be all-time highs for this stock. This could get exciting. The all-time high was back here at 537, regular trading hours. So it wasn't unrealistic to sort of be a bit more aggressive on that and to think that it had the potential to make a big move. It's just unfortunate that that didn't happen. And I think that, what's the rhyme or reason, both with like one stock that rips and another that doesn't, or when we're watching a consolidation kind of breakout pattern forming, why is it that you'll have, this sort of consolidation here and it goes here? Why didn't it go here, right? It came up. Why didn't it go here? Why did it wait to go right there? We never really know. It's just, this was the moment when, ultimately the dam kind of burst and we broke that kind of final resistance level. And once we're over that level, you get short covering, you get longs buying, you get stop orders going, and, next thing you know, you're squeezing up. And a lot of traders will let it squeeze up, and then they're going to watch the first micro pullback for the next leg higher. But it sometimes frustrates me because I'll take the trade here, I'll lose on it, right? I'm like, oh, I think it's going to break out, and then I stop out. And then it goes a minute later and I'm like, my gosh, if only I had just held a few more minutes. What was I thinking? But usually the way I'm trading is when I'm getting in, I'm expecting something to squeeze like then. I mean, I'm not the type of trader who's counter trend trading, who expects to go red for a while before the trade works. I'm trading momentum. I'm trading trends. I'm trading breakouts. I'm expecting that when I get in, I'm going to be in the green within the first minute of taking that trade, right? If I'm not, I timed it wrong and I clearly did not get the breakout. So, with something like LSH, when we're just getting these big swings, why did this one not pull away right here? I don't know, but from the very beginning, there was high selling, high volume selling, and then more high volume selling at the open. So, why was it that this one had so much selling? We could look into the filings and try to kind of figure it out. But in the moment when we're trading, there's not a lot of time. There's not a lot of time to do that. It all happens very quickly. And, you can go through all the filings, which, I go over to BAM SEC, so I'll go at LSH. So, you could look through all these filings. Now, this is a recent IPO, so there's not a huge amount, but you would need to be able to kind of maintain an understanding of what's the closeout period, when can insiders sell, right? So you got to figure out when can insiders sell, how many shares are insiders holding, right? How many shares are institutions holding? Are there private placement deals where institutions, as part of the IPO, got big chunks of shares, and at what price did they get them? So at what price are they going to sell? Is there a lockout period for them? And getting to the bottom of all of that ultimately is due diligence that takes time. And, if you're able to do that really quickly, that could give you an advantage, except that even then, you could end up just having the misfortune that there's a trader on the market right now that wants to short 1 million shares of the stock or whatever it is. And your due diligence isn't going to show you that individual seller. Now, maybe you'd see, well, the balance sheet on the company is not great, this and that. Maybe there'd be people who'd short it, but you just don't know when someone's actually going to come out and try to take that position. So ultimately, at the end of the day, it comes down to just watching technical analysis if you're an active trader. And when the chart is no longer giving us the confirmation, it's no longer breaking out, it's struggling, I'll give it a chance for a little bit. But when the spreads get too big and it's just failing, I got to walk away from it. So it's 11:30 right now, a little bit past that. And, I'm calling it a day with $2,630.60. A green day, green on 3 stocks, red on 3 stocks. Went red twice today. Started red on NUZE, rallied back to green, and then went back to red after that drop on LSH. That put me down, I was down 2,000 on it. But then recouped some of that loss and ended up going green on the stock as it bounced back up. But, definitely today was not a day where the profits came easily. So I feel like my next best chance for a big winner is not sticking around today. My next best chance for a nice trade is tomorrow. Tomorrow is the first day of the new month. All right. So we're starting the new month here and I'm looking forward to it. We're all going to start at the same place, right? As long as you're not holding positions from July into August, we're all going to start at 0. So let's try to get ourselves off to a really good start for the month of August. I want to give you a link to do a 2-week trial at Warrior Trading. That link will be pinned in the top of the comments and linked in the description. So you can join me tomorrow morning, bright and early. Chat room will be open around 7 a.m. When I see stocks on the scanners, I'm going to give you my commentary. I'm going to tell you what I'm watching. This is a classroom. Class is in session every single day, and I'm demonstrating the strategies that I've been trading for more than a decade, and you're able to learn from me. This is not a community designed or based on the idea of you just blindly following me. I don't email out text alerts. We don't do, send text alerts or email out trade alerts. That to me is, I see other people do it. I know you've got like Jim Cramer and some of these big traders that'll send out these text alerts and stuff like that. I want to teach you how to actually trade. And so I'm demonstrating the strategies I trade every single day. And if you're motivated, you're driven, you're dedicated, you want to learn, it's all right here for you to absorb. So check out that 2-week trial, 2-week trial for $20. Links in the description. And hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Hope you had a great month of July. I'll give you my July recap later this week. But for now, I'll leave it at that. And I'll thank you as always for tuning in. Hope you subscribe to the channel. And I'll remind you that trading is risky. My results aren't typical. So manage your risk, take it slow. And I'll see you back here first thing tomorrow morning for Warrior Pro members.